It's been a hectic week in farming. We've had the NFU conference, but there's also been, and there is increasing media interest in farming and the perilous situation that our food security is in, thanks to Brexit and policy decisions that have happened since Brexit. So in many ways, it's a good thing. It's just a shame this didn't happen a couple of years ago when actually we could have done something about it and headed off the worst of it. But we are where we are. This week, DEFRA got found out. The Guardian printed an article which shows that DEFRA sat on and hid a report which showed how bad Brexit is for upland farming. It's no surprise to me. We did do a report with Sean Rickard before Brexit, and we certainly knew that the upland farmers, sheep farmers, were going to be hit the hardest from Brexit. But it's just incredibly depressing that they decided to hide this information from people. But equally, it's unsurprising given that this government decided to go ahead with Brexit and the hardest of Brexits, despite the impacts assessments, which showed how damaging it would be for all British industry and also the loss of foreign investment, as well as problems associated with the loss of freedom of movement, which is why our economy is in such dire straits. But for our food security, things are pretty dire, and something needs to happen. Rishi Sunak made a load of nice pledges at the NFU conference, but nothing more than just campaign headlines. They've been in power for 14 years and they've done nothing, only apart from delivering damage and worsening the situation with our food industry, to the extent that we now have a not for EU label on British food, which hardly invites people to eat British food. And this is just so that we can send food to Northern Ireland and reduce the red tape because of Brexit, despite the fact that Boris Johnson promised there would be no trade barriers for our exports. We have been misled, lied to, betrayed, not just once, but several times. And farmers particularly have been thrown down the river, thrown under the Brexit bus, and they've reversed back over us as well. And yes, it's bad for farming, but it is also your food. And it's bad for everybody's food and everyone's countryside and everyone's public health. Also, this week on Jeremy Vine, Jemma Forte took on Richard Tice and did a splendid job. And I'm going to play you the clip now of her talking about farming. Do try and catch up with the rest of the powwow that she had with him, because it's definitely worth a watch. And I hope you enjoy your Friday evening.
Farming, right? They've lost their subsidies, they've lost their protections, they are struggling because we used to get perhaps Romanians coming over for 3 months, doing the jobs and going home. Now they're having to get expensive visas, they're going overseas. So the idea it was ever going to really curb immigration.
Gemma's wrong about farming?
She's completely wrong about farming. There are different farming subsidies out there that actually should probably be increased. But look, a lot of the subsidies are going into rewiring, which is ridiculous. We should be using our productive farmland for growing farmland. That's what the Tories have done.
It gets to the point. It's like gaslighting.
You're completely unaware, clearly, that there's a seasonal agricultural workers scheme where people can come in, they can pick fruit, they can help with that, and maybe... And that's what's going on at the moment, Gemma. Are you unaware of this?
No, I'm not unaware of it. Because I was listening to a farmer trying to talk to Jacob Rees-Mogg. It was painful. And he was saying, we are trying to grow vineyards. We cannot get the seasonal workers from Europe, which was just easy, right? It was frictionless. And now we're having to go to Afghanistan and Uzbekistan, all these places, and issue expensive visas at a cost to us. It's a lot more hassle. We can't get the workers. We've lost our subsidies. We've lost our protections. And like you, he's just going, no, that's not true. Like, listen to people who actually do the job.